Games like Resident Evil Requiem, Pragmata, and Crimson Desert all launched this year, and they look incredible. But instead of talking about the graphics or the story, the entire gaming community is busy discussing about the hypervisor bypass because the official repacks for these mentioned games are launched on FitGirl's website, and you're dying to install and play them, but you have no clue what the hell a hypervisor means, and you want someone to tell you that it's okay to install them. So I'm going to explain everything now, and you'll reach the decision all on your own. And because I care, I'll also give you my personal opinion in the end. Let's first see what a hypervisor is. We play games on PC, which usually runs using an operating system and a set of hardware. So basically, a hypervisor is used when you're bored of your current operating system and you want to try out a different OS on your system, meaning you want to run a computer inside a computer. In simple words, most of us as kids felt like heroes at some point of time, and we wanted to do something crazy. And by crazy, I mean become a hacker. To do that, we installed Kali Linux, which is basically a different operating system which was running on a Windows machine using hypervisors like VirtualBox or VMware. But this isn't the hypervisor which is used to break the games. The games like Resident Evil Requiem and Pragmata have something called as Denuvo inside them. And for those of you who are curious, I have already made a complete video explaining this and how it works, so you can go ahead and watch that on this channel. But to give you a quick gist, Denuvo's job is to make sure that you own the game that you're playing and you aren't trying to modify anything in the game files. And to achieve this, Denuvo creates a fingerprint of your Steam account and your hardware, and then it generates a temporary ticket which it uses to validate you. And it constantly keeps checking for that fingerprint while you're playing the game. So if you copy your game files and send it to your friends so they can also play it, it will not work as the fingerprint will not match. But there is a way to bypass this, and that's what we call as the hypervisor bypass. So to explain this in the easiest way possible, take a look at this. The top layer is our application layer, where our software applications like Pragmata, Valorant, Discord, and other applications run. Then after that comes our kernel layer, where our Windows sits and manages the communication between the application and the hardware layer, which is the final layer. The hypervisor like VMware and VirtualBox usually operate on the first two layers, meaning the guest OS has permission from Windows to run on this system. But the hypervisor we use to bypass Denuvo has no official permission from Windows. It is present between the kernel layer and the actual hardware layer and has complete control over your system, and it has even more power than Windows itself. So basically, it virtualizes the hardware layer, and when Denuvo sends a request to check for the fingerprint asking, "Is everything fine down there, brother?" the hypervisor detects that request and returns, "Yes sir," and it tricks Denuvo by making it think that the message was from the actual hardware. So now you might think and ask me that, isn't this just cracking the game? Nope, not even close to cracking. Cracking a game usually means to modify the code and remove the lines which check for ownership and make the game believe that the person playing this game owns it. But using the hypervisor method, you don't touch any of the game files. Instead, you trick Denuvo by making it think your system actually owns the game by modifying your system. To run this hypervisor bypass, you're required to disable Windows Defender, disable secure boot, and enable virtualization. And by doing this, you have now let your system be vulnerable to any attacks and theft, as you yourself have fired your security guard who was protecting your house. So if the repacks has a virus file along with the game files, by installing it and disabling the security features, you just made it the CEO and gave it complete control of your company. So let's get to the final point. Is it safe to install? After all I have explained, if you're asking this, I understand you, brother. You really want to play the game, but the answer is no. Don't go breaking something you don't know how to put back together. But if you still wish to do it, at least watch proper guide videos and do it properly. I hope this video was useful. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Bye.